How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another SSR Analysis video, and as always, if you do enjoy what you are seeing here today and you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I really do appreciate it, but let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. Today we are going to be taking a look at the new physical extreme lead, and that is Final Form Cooler. And I briefly went over him yesterday and what he can do, but today I am going to go a bit more in depth, and I am going to be making a team and discussing why he is good and why he isn't. Because there are definitely a few things about this card that could have been better, but overall I am extremely happy with this card. I will most likely be summoning for him because he is that good, and of course there are other really good cards on the banner that I would like to have. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it with his leader skill. He gives free key and a 120% stat boost to extreme physical types, and then the same with the Super Saiyan 4s, where he gives 1 key and a 50% stat boost to super types. So the only super type that I can honestly see you putting in this team is Vegito Blue. Realistically, I don't feel like there's anyone else worth putting in there besides Vegito Blue, just because to optimize a team like this you would have to have villains. It's the same with Mono AGL, where you have Super Saiyan Rose in there, but for the most part your other units are super types because you get way more health, get way more attack, and it just works out better. The reason why Rose is special in that scenario is because he naturally hits hard, and he provides himself with key. He links well as well because of his links. And the same applies to Vegito Blue here in some sense, because he does link with full power Frieza, he has Prepare for Battle with Goku Black, and he still gets the 2 key from the double lead, so it just works out well. He can also attack multiple times, he has the counter, it just goes on and on. So he causes immense damage and greatly lowers defense. He gets a 100% attack and defensive boost. So I touched on this kinda yesterday in my basically news video. And this passive skill is very similar to Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's. Obviously, the only difference here is that Vegeta gets a 120 attack and defensive boost, whereas Cooler gets 100. But the thing is, shout out to the Dokkan subreddit. I don't know if I'm going to put this image up, but someone did the calculations, and when his passive activates, Cooler's defense equates to 41,000, and I'm pretty sure that's before any boost from the dupe system. And what that basically means is that it's only like 5,000 defense away from Vegeta's overall stat. It depends on how much orbs you've put how many orbs you've put into him. Pardon me. But overall, he is still going to be able to tank just because the boost isn't as high as Vegeta's, and his defensive stat isn't as high as Vegeta's. Doesn't stop him from tanking, because there's a point where units are going to be able to tank even more. I think like once your defense is around 19,000 or something along those lines, you're going to be able to tank hits even more. And obviously, because Cooler's defense is at like 40,000, that definitely isn't going to be a problem. And when you consider that you have units like Goku Black that can lower attack, it's just great, because you can optimize units like this and allow other units like Vegito Blue to tank even more, because you are lowering attack with Black. And there are different factors that come into it, and I will talk about that in a few moments. But let's have a look at the rest of the card. Guaranteed additional attack with a medium chance for that attack to be a super attack. So similar to Vegito Blue in a way. It's honestly very similar, but instead of having 3 chances to have an additional super attack, I think it's 3 chances. So instead of having those multiple chances to have a super attack, he has a guaranteed additional attack with a medium chance to launch a super attack, which is pretty damn nice. And again, shout out to the Dokkan subreddit. I will probably link this in the comment section or description. If he attacks twice, I think his total damage equates to like 1.4 million, pardon me, or something along those lines. It may be a bit less, maybe a bit more. I can't exactly remember off the top of my head, but this Cooler is going to be hitting extremely hard. Do keep that in mind. He has an extremely high attack stat, which equates to how hard he is going to hit. It may be a bit less. I may be exaggerating by a little bit, but I will try to find that post, and then you guys can have a look at it yourself. Now, this is where the problems come in, and again, I am going to be bringing back the team building portion of this video just to explain it a bit more. Pardon me. So he has strongest clan in space, first for conquest, big bad bosses, shocking speed, universe's most malevolent, metamorphosis, and fierce battle. So the link that I couldn't figure out yesterday was first for conquest, so shout out to everyone that corrected me there. But okay, but here is where the problem arises. How many top tier villain units that are physical have shocking speed? LR Ginyu, okay, or just Ginyu, pre-Dokkan, okay. Anyone else that you could think of? Barbershop Napper maybe, but he isn't necessarily a top tier unit. The point is, all of the top tier villain type units don't have shocking speed apart from Cooler and Ginyu. And the thing is, Ginyu only gets the shocking speed link as an LR. And that is where the problem comes in. If he had Fear and Faith, that would have been fine because he would share Fear and Faith with Goku Black, Sin Shenron, and I'm pretty sure the Ginyu Force has it as well. It's just, I don't know what Bandai were thinking, because now it's going to be tougher to use this team because you will need a certain setup. And it's kind of frustrating because Physical could have easily been one of the better types, but because they don't link that well, you may have to go ahead and put a few super types in there because, again, the team just doesn't link that well. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into the team building portion of the video now to explain it a bit more. Okay, so it seems like the developer of this website has changed the layout a bit, so I may be a bit lost from time to time. However, unfortunately, he still hasn't added the new units into this, so I am going to be using the Tech Cooler as a placeholder. But here's the point. So let's say that this Cooler has shocking speed, okay? Who does he share it with? He shares it with LR Ginyu. Okay, and at this point in time, I would imagine that no one in the world, unless you've modded, has that LR Ginyu. Okay, so who else does he share a key link with? So he shares strongest clan in space with Frieza, and that's it. Literally, no one else in this team has shocking speed. For example, if they did give Sin Shenron shocking speed, that would have made things a whole lot better. And I'm going to go quickly go back to LR Ginyu again. He is, I would say that he's essential if you are wanting to use a team like this, because he gives free key to all types with his passive, and that is definitely going to be a big help. Granted, there are certain situations where units can link well with each other. For example, you have Goku Black and Vegito Blue, who both have Prepare for Battle. You have Vegito Blue and you have Full Power Frieza, who have Over in a Flash. But it just doesn't work that well because there isn't a solid key link in this team. There is no Fear and Faith, which would have been awesome. You would have had Goku Black, you would have had Ginyu. I'm pretty sure even before Dokkaning, Ginyu still has that Fear and Faith link. I think he has it as a Transcended Ultra Rare, which isn't too hard to obtain at this point. You have Sin Shenron with Fear and Faith. And of course, if they did give it to him, you'd have Cooler with Fear and Faith as well. So it would work really well. Granted, they will all start at 6 key because they are villains. Well, Vegito Blue wouldn't, but it just doesn't work too well because Goku Black needs orbs to obviously hit hard. And then you obviously have certain situations where units don't link particularly well. Also, me and Zenrot were discussing different teams and how they could work with the Cooler lead. And if you aren't following him or if you aren't subscribed to his channel, I will leave them both linked yet again in the comment section and description. And basically, he brought up the idea of maybe just having an orb changer in there just to make things work a bit smoothly. So I went ahead and added Android 17, who again is an orb changer, and he also has Fear and Faith. There are so many physical type villains that have that Fear and Faith link, but for whatever reason, Bandai decided not to give it to Cooler, which would have been amazing. It would have made the team work amazingly well. Granted, Full Power Frieza would still be lacking for key in certain situations because he doesn't have that Fear and Faith link. Again, LR Ginyu does play a big part in making this work. But let's say you don't have Ginyu. Who can you put in there? Honestly, I would go ahead and put Broly in there just because he does have the Prepare for Battle link. He is a villain, and obviously he would link up with Goku Black, and if you want to put Vegito Blue in there, he would link up with Vegito Blue. Who would you replace? You would most likely replace Sin Shenron because he only has the Fear and Faith link. So before I talk about the last few things, I went ahead and checked, and SSR Ginyu and Transcended Ultra Rare Ginyu do not have the Shocking Speed link. They only get the Shocking Speed link when they awaken into a Legendary Rare. Before that, they only have the Fear and Faith link, which just makes things even worse because Cooler is essentially going to be linking with no one now. Granted, you do have Ginyu who still gives key with his passive, but that honestly isn't enough to maintain this team. Again, when he is a Legendary Rare, it is going to be a lot better for this team. This team does have a slight problem with synergy. You may have to make a few changes here and there. You may even have to put a few hero units in there. But keep in mind that this is just me talking about the optimal units for this team, okay? You don't necessarily have to run these units. You may decide to run a full team of heroes around Cooler, but by doing that, you're utilizing that team and Cooler's leader skill because heroes only get a 50% stat boost and 1 key, which again may be even harder to maintain despite the fact that many units have the Shocking Speed link. So it's definitely one of those things that you have to think about. You may want to put a few support units here and there just so that the team works a bit better. Granted, you may not even have Vegito Blue, so you may want to put in a hero type that is an orb changer or just has the Shocking Speed link and would link well with some of your other units. For example, Super Saiyan 2 Great Saiyaman is a decent option because he has Shocking Speed and Prepare for Battle. So if you were to run Broly and Goku Black, that is instantly 2 units that you're going to be linking up with. And with Shocking Speed, you would be linking up with Cooler. So again, you can definitely play around with the units in this team. Unfortunately, I don't think it will be optimized for a while, just simply because I feel like in the future they are going to be releasing more units that will fit better in this team. So I would imagine that in the coming weeks / months they are going to be releasing more villain type units, well, more physical villain type units with that Shocking Speed link, just so that you can optimize the team a bit more. But if I was to give my honest opinion, I feel like Cooler would probably work better on a villain team at the moment. That doesn't mean he's a bad unit by any means, it just means that his team isn't that great at the moment. Granted, you have several really good units in that just doesn't come together too well. That is it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, do not forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one.